Welcome to the free version of the Direct Sales Recruiting University. Well, we sure did have a lot of people sign up for this. I was really surprised that everybody literally put down on that survey that they wanted free, and then even more surprised at the number of people that signed up. So I'm pretty impressed. Congratulations to all of you for taking action. That was really good. You know, one thing I've learned over the years is that, we're not all that different. I've worked with a lot of different consultants, leaders, and what I've learned is that I'm not that much different from you, and you guys are not that much different from each other. We all kind of start out with the same dreams, hopes, aspirations, and frustrations. The direct sales industry has massive potential, and we all come in with the dream to succeed and grow a team and create income. Some of us want to quit our jobs, other ones just want to pay some bills, but the dream is basically the same for everybody, no matter what company you're in, where you live. We all pretty much have the same dream, and yet we have the same frustrations too. How do you find business? How do you get people to recruit? How do you get people to sign up? That's it. We're all pretty much the same, and so that's where I think that this Sales University is going to give you some input and ideas on how to turn that around. And I'm going to start out by referring you back to the page that you signed up for this training on. We had a quick tip there. It was like one little paragraph, and it said, the best tip I can give you to improve your recruiting, like immediately, is to stop recruiting. Just please, stop recruiting and start making friends. Recruiting is a technical term. And when you eliminate that from your vocabulary, just like, no more recruiting, we're going to share, we're going to teach people how to create income, we're going to sponsor people, we're going to make friends. When you start to make friends and focus on the needs of others, you're going to attract people to you who want what you have. Recruiting is very technical. Even the Army doesn't recruit anymore. Recruiting has a connotation that you're going to do something to somebody. You're going to draft them. You're going to pull them in without their willingness. And that's not what we have here. We have a gift. We have a gift to give. And so you need to change your focus, because I was not a very good recruiter when I first started. As a matter of fact, I wanted so bad to be a leader and to be moving up the ladder and to grow a huge sales organization. And it took me a whole year before I got good at sharing the opportunity. And that's because I had to reshift my focus from what Deb wants to what other people wants. One of the primary characteristics of a good recruiter, someone who's really good at sharing the opportunity, is that they don't focus on themselves, they focus on others. And so that little shift in your word choice alone is going to really help you and also change the way people respond to you, because the word recruit definitely has negative connotations. And I'm sure if you think back to when you first started, you didn't like that word. But see, we get desensitized to it because it's a trade term that we're used to. So that's our first lesson here in the free version of the Direct Sales Recruiting University. The Direct Sales Recruiting University was something that started at the beginning of last year. And I had a long time had it in my head. When I worked in the corporate world, I'm a trained chef. And I did not go to school for business, marketing, never did direct sales before I started in this business. And our company actually, it was a restaurant catering company, pretty well-known company here in Pennsylvania. And they used to hire Disney, as a matter of fact, to do online webinars. Now, Disney was selling these webinars in the area of sales and marketing to companies all over the United States. So my company, along with a couple dozen other companies, were paying Disney a couple $1,000s, and we were getting a quarterly seminar. And our tech department would set up a room, and all the managers would go in, and we'd learn sales skills. And I always thought it was such a massively terrific idea. And that's pretty much how I kind of, in the back of my mind, I was always thinking, how can I use this in my business? And then I wanted to apply it to direct sales and teach teams all over the world in a very affordable environment. And that's how it came out. So last year we ran 4 classes. We have hundreds of graduates who have, some of them have come back again with bigger teams and more new consultants taking the same training over again because it was so effective for them. But what happened was, and I was like, oh my gosh, everybody kept saying they wanted the videos, they wanted the downloads, and that makes it so much more work. I didn't want to get into that. I just was given the recordings. And so, as you know, we had a survey, and everybody wants recordings, everybody wants downloads. So now we're kind of leading into a revamped direct sales recruiting university. But what I was getting at was that I learned a lot with Disney. And one of the techniques I used in my business from day one, I quit my full-time job because I was having a lot of stress and I wanted to improve the quality of life. So, as a new party plan consultant who used to have like a career, I was a professional, I was a little leery of being considered a party plan lady. But guess what, Deb? You are a party plan lady. And so I decided to take all the skills that made me successful in the corporate world and apply them to my party plan business, because over the course of my career, I had 3, say, 10-year jobs each, give or take a couple years, and I took small companies and made them big companies. I was very, very successful in what I did. And so I thought, well, I can do the same thing for myself, right? And so I came in and very quickly, 9 months, was able to replace my corporate income with my party plan business and be top 20 in personal sales in my company 7 years in a row, President's Club, the whole bit. But the recruiting thing was a hassle for me. I couldn't get it. And one time I was thinking back, okay, why can't I get this? And I realized that the techniques and the principles that I applied to my sales, you sell the benefit, you sell the desire, you sell the emotions, you sell the memories. Because that's what they taught us in Disney. We, in my company, Accomack Inn, it's a catering restaurant, we sold weddings. And you don't sell tables and chairs if you're a caterer. You sell the wedding memories. You sell the beautiful day, the feeling, and that's how you get really good at sales. Good salespeople sell emotions, sell memories, and that the Eskimo, the guy that can sell ice cubes to an Eskimo, is selling the emotional level of not having to cut their own ice blocks to build an igloo. You focus on the memories, the desires, the emotions. And what I realized was that in recruiting, I was focusing on me. I was sharing my opportunity in such a way because I wanted to be a leader, because I wanted to move up the ladder. And once I took the exact same technique that I was applying to my products, in other words, you want this product because it's going to get you in and out of the kitchen in a flash and improve the quality of family life, right? I'm a chef, don't forget. That's the memory, that's the feeling. And I could sell products like crazy, but I wasn't doing the same thing for the opportunity. And so when I made that switch in my own mind to not push recruiting, but to attract people to my opportunity because of what I can do for them and how I can change their lives and improve their emotional memories and their quality of life, that's when my ability to share the opportunity changed. And so that's what I want to share with you is you sell the benefits, not the features. Example being free trips is a feature, and an all-expense-paid vacation to Cancun to renew your vows on the beach with your honey is a memory. And so when you share emotions, you will become an awesome sharer, an awesome recruiter. And that's what the Direct Sales Recruiting University is all about. There's about 5 attributes that it takes to become a really good recruiter, to be really good at sharing your opportunity. And one of them, we already talked about, that's having a focus on others. You ought to write these down. Another one is a really strong belief in your opportunity. Most of us believe it's good enough for us, but it's not good enough to share. And so how do you teach your team to do that is the key, to teach your team how to really deep down inside believe in the opportunity for themselves and for others. And that's how you get your team to start recruiting from day one is to have the belief, have a solid belief. So the belief is really important. Number 2 is to have a solid show schedule. Party plan or not, a solid amount of business. Anybody that's desperate for business, everybody that's like depending on the person standing right in front of them to make or break their business, you need a yes, is not ever going to be good at sharing. And so all leaders, all consultants have to focus on building business. Building business is the most important skill in direct sales, because without the ability to fill your calendar or to set up your appointments or to close your deals, without the ability to have a solid lead generation system, you will never be good at presentations, you will never be good at recruiting, you will never be good at training others, you will never be good at host coaching. You must be good, you must be an expert at finding business in order to become an expert at anything else. But the problem is we're learning it all at once. Okay, so 1, you have to have a solid belief in the opportunity. 2, you have to have a solid show schedule. 3, you need to have a focus on others. And 4 is fun. Fun. Fun is the single most important thing in your business. Because if you're not having fun, you, the consultant, if you're not having fun, then your guests aren't going to schedule shows because it looks like it might be boring or it looks like it might be hard or they're not having fun. Fun is a powerful emotion, and it happens to be one of the biggest commodities going in the 21st century. When the consultant has fun, bookings go up. When the consultant has fun, recruiting is simple. Fun. The way you have fun is to have systems at your shows so that you can get on autopilot and focus on your guests, so that you can relax and become a part of the party. And last but not least, in the recruiting attitude is a desire to recruit. A desire. Because you will not become a recruiting expert without study, without investment. You're here, so you're investing. It takes time, money, emotions, and investment in all levels is what it takes to become an awesome sharer. And so those are the 5, I call them attitudes, character traits of an awesome recruiter, of someone who can really, really share and excel. And so you need to look at that list for yourself and for your team and decide where we need to put our focus. And we focus on all that in the Direct Sales Recruiting University. But you need to decide where to put your focus, especially for yourself or for your team, so that you can become excellent at sharing the opportunity. Why wouldn't you want to share the opportunity? I mean, after all, if you're not sharing the opportunity, you're missing out on some income opportunities, aren't you? There's a lot of talk in our industry about attraction marketing, but nobody really explains to you how to do it, do they? It's like, market your business everywhere you go, and think positive thoughts, and good things will happen, right? But nobody really tells you how exactly to do attraction marketing. And what I'm telling you now is that it's about sharing the emotions, the benefits, and the stories that create memories in people's lives. That's attraction marketing, is putting out enough information to attract people to you so that they want what you have. And so over the next, 10 days maybe, we're going to put up 3 or 4 more articles that are going to kind of expand on what we've just been talking about. Because those 5 attributes is what it takes to be an awesome sharer. And I'm going to share with you what happened with me. I told you that I wasn't good at first. But once I got it, once I started really focusing on other people and sharing the benefits, I got really good. I never was in the top 20 people, like the President's Club for recruiting. I was 7 years in a row President's Club for personal sales. And I always was good, always bringing in 2-3 people every single month, nice and solid. And the thing is, they stayed. They stuck. And, that's the Direct Sales Recruiting University focuses on not only bringing people in, but keeping them. You know, because half of growing a team is retention, probably more than half. I mean, why not keep the ones you have, get them off to a good start? And so that's what you really want to focus on, is teaching your team how to recruit, get them from day one sharing the opportunity, but also keep them involved. You know, nobody quits when they're making money. They might say they're quitting for some reason, having a baby or their husband doesn't like it. But chances are, if they were making money and they were having a baby, they'd probably stick with it. They might take a little time off, but they'd stick with it. Chances are, if they were making money, their husband wouldn't hate it anymore. Okay, so, you know, the program has got a lot of pieces to it that you wouldn't expect. Not only how to be a good recruiter, but how to teach recruiting, and also how to keep your team members involved. As we move forward here in the next, week to 10 days, I'm going to share a lot more with you about attraction marketing, about how to really attract people to you who want what you have, who want your opportunity. And one of the ways to do it is at your shows. It's probably one of the best places to share your opportunity. And so you should be putting out information about how beneficial your opportunity can be to them. And so one of the best ways to do that is with your personal story. You know, in my company, we had this saying, and they used to periodically make little videos. And if you go to YouTube, you can probably find the one that I made for the 100 Million Voice Project on Thanks for Asking. That was our company series of videos. Thanks, Don, for asking. In other words, thanks, Don Fund, for sharing the opportunity with me. A little video about why I joined. And so I made one for the 100 Million Voice Project, and you can probably see that. Go to my YouTube page. You can probably search it and find it. And if my upline, who happened to be a gentleman, had not shared it with me at the show, then I never would have joined. He said at the beginning of his show, you know, watch what I do here today, and for those of you who, you know, like what you see, just get with me after the show, and I'll be glad to give you more information. That's what he said at the beginning of the show, so it like planted a seed. And so he told his little story why he joined. And so I want you to write your story, what it used to be like before you joined your company, you know, why you liked it, why you didn't like it, what happened to make you change, and then why you did make that change, what it's like now, and end in an invitation. Write your little story. We're talking less than a minute. I didn't even go to school for my fantastic company's business, and yet, you know, I'm a trained chef, and I worked in the restaurant business for 30 years, and I loved it. I had a lot of fun. I had a ton of friends. I made a lot of money. But what I realized one day was that it was so much stress that I was giving my whole life to somebody else's business. Make a long story short, I went to my very first home party in the year 2000, and I realized that everything that I liked about my restaurant business was going on right in that very room. And to make a long story short, I decided it must have been put in front of me for a reason, so I took a 50% pay cut on my job. I quit my full-time job after 9 months, and now I sell my fantastic company as my total household income. I get to go to parties every day, I get to eat, I get to talk, and I get paid for it. I invite you guys to watch what I do here today. And for those of you who would like to learn more about making money and having fun, just get with me after the show, and I'll be glad to give you more information. All right, that's what I want you to write. Now, I stumbled over that a little bit because I'm not at a party, and I'm thinking more about the video, and but you get the point, right? What it used to be like, why you liked it, what happened to make you change, and what it's like now, and an invitation. I want you to write your story, and I want you to start saying it. It's kind of like your elevator pitch, only you don't just like pitch it at anybody you stand in an elevator with. It's a story that you share in a conversational manner at the beginning of your show. All right? So over the next couple of weeks, we're gonna share some more information with you, and we'll look forward to seeing you again. If you could take a minute, you've taken action, you've joined the Direct Sales Recruiting University, you've shown up here today and watched the first video. I assume you're going to watch a few more, but let's take one more action. Do me a favor, let's put some comments down below. Let's see if we can get a little bit of community going on here, interaction. You can link to your affiliate site, your direct sales site by putting your URL there. And so let's start a little community of different consultants, everybody putting their comments in on what you've learned today and what your challenges are, what your big frustrations are, and what are your hopes and dreams. Let's get some community going on here. All right? Welcome back to the free version of the Direct Sales Recruiting University. Thanks for joining us today. If you haven't watched the first one, you should go back because there was some really good content there. I think that this is a progressive training program. The real version of the Direct Sales Recruiting University is over 5 hours long, and actually with Q&A, it's closer to 6 hours long. And sometimes I talk too much, so it runs really over because I always have more content than I promise. And this one's the free one, and that means that it's, well, you know, free. And so I can't do everything and give you everything that we normally cover in over 5 hours. And so go back and watch the first video. It's going to progress from there. We're going to talk a little bit today about attraction marketing, but you want to get the foundation of what we talked about in the first video. And also while you're there, read the comments. We had quite a few comments. It's really interesting that us direct sellers all have pretty much the same frustrations. You know, a lot of comments about where to find bookings. Now, this is a recruiting seminar, but you know what? It does cover where to find bookings because that's what attraction marketing does. When you can attract people to you, then you're going to service their needs. And they might want to have a show, and they might want to become a consultant, or they might just want a product. And so the thing about the Direct Sales Recruiting University is, even though it's teaching you how to be an awesome sharer, how to grow a great sales organization, it really will make you a much better salesperson in general, and it will also make you much better. It'll help you to be much better at scheduling shows. And we have a whole hour segment on how to find business, because there really is unlimited business out there. It's just a matter of a three couple problems, really. Three couple problems. Is that proper English, Deb? There's only three couple problems that you could have if you don't have enough business. One is that you don't know where to find it. Two is that you do know where to find it, but you're not willing to go and get it. Or three is that you do know where to find it, you are willing to go get it, and you are making that attempt on a regular basis, but you don't have the skills to make it happen. And the Direct Sales Recruiting University is going to teach everything to you. Now, in our last training, we talked a little bit about the 5 characteristics it takes to become really good at sharing your opportunity. Just like at our home party, you know, we act as if it's normal for the hostess to invite 40 people. Well, so when we bring in new consultants, we should act as if it's normal to share the opportunity. And oftentimes, the new consultant will ask if they have to recruit, and our answer is key to their attitude as they move forward in your business opportunity. Oftentimes, a potential consultant will say, do I have to recruit? And the leader will say, oh, no, don't worry about that. You know, you don't have to do that. Well, the attitude should be that recruiting is part of the job, and you know, management is a choice and recruiting is required, because it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me, it's a gift that when you're ready to be a leader, then you can move up the ladder, but I will manage your team for you until you're ready. And so the attitude of the new consultant stems from the attitude of the leader. So you should probably go back and watch that recording if you didn't do so yet. And these are what we talked about. And you know, if your team doesn't have a solid belief in the opportunity, they're not going to be good at sharing. They need to have a solid show schedule. And I know that that is one of the biggest frustrations of direct sellers, is finding bookings, finding business. And you know, there really are hundreds of lead generation systems out there. And so, you know, if you don't have a solid show schedule, you really need to put that into place in order to get really, really good at becoming a good scheduler. And as a team leader, it's one of the primary focus areas that you need to work with your new consultants, is making sure they have a solid show schedule or a solid amount of business if you don't do home parties. Because when you don't have a solid amount of business, you're desperate, your team is desperate, and the potential consultants, the people that you're sharing the opportunity with, will feel that desperation. So it's really almost impossible to recruit if you don't have a solid show schedule. Fun at your shows, a focus on others, and a desire meaning you're willing to educate. Becoming a good recruiter is a process. We're not all good at it when we first start, and we're learning other things in this business. We can't become good at everything right away, and it's a process. First, we have to put out information so that we can attract people to us. That's what attraction marketing is. Attraction marketing means that you're sharing things that will create desire in the marketplace for people that to have and want what you have. That's what attraction marketing is. And the process of learning how to be a good recruiter is exactly that, a process. The process of becoming a good recruiter is what I call the 5 I's: inform, invite, interview, income, and increase levels. You will not be good at doing any one of them until you become good at doing the one prior. In other words, we're talking about attraction marketing. You will never get good at inviting people to participate in your business opportunity until you get really, really good at putting out information. And so you will never get good at interviewing people until you get good at inviting, and so on. You won't get good at teaching people how to create income until you get good at interviewing. So you need to start the process by learning how to put out information. I call that sprinkling everywhere you go. We talked the other day about sharing the memories, sharing the dream. And how do you exactly do that? So one of the ways that I teach to do it, and this is, we put a great deal of in-depth time into teaching how to share the dream, because you can use all these systems for both finding business as well as finding new consultants as well as selling your products. See, that's the beauty of the Direct Sales Recruiting University. Even though we are teaching you how to share the opportunity, you will increase your sales because you'll become a better salesperson, and you'll increase your ability to generate bookings because you'll become better at creating desire. That's what attraction marketing is. Attraction marketing is creating desire for your business opportunity. And you share, I think I shared last week about the feature being, in this case, an orange ball. And the benefit of that orange ball, meaning you never lose the ball and you have more fun. And so when you take the features and turn them into benefits for your products, for the opportunity to have a show, for the opportunity to share your business opportunity, but also for creating leaders. In other words, what is the feature of moving up the ladder? Increased trip benefits, higher commission rates. What's the benefit of that? You earned your trip in half the time. And what is the story that you share with your team, and you sprinkle it to them on a regular basis to create desire? It might be, you know, I just earned my trip. My trip's in the bag. I got it in half the amount of time because I got double points for all the new consultants I signed. And you share that kind of information in a conversational manner. And so features versus benefits, your products have features and they have benefits. And then when you create a small story to share that, remember the other day I talked about the wedding? You know, we sell memories. We don't sell tables and chairs when we're in the catering company. And so when you make a list of the top 20 reasons why your business is the best thing since sliced bread, and then turn those into benefits, and then take the time to turn all those benefits into small short stories and share them everywhere you go, you're going to start to attract people to you that want what you have. And you can focus on attracting people that want to have bookings, or you can focus on attracting people that might want the business opportunity. You can focus on attracting people that want to move up the ladder. In other words, you do the exact same thing for your team, or you create desire for team meetings. Actually, you're probably doing it all at once, because once you get good at understanding how to sprinkle stories that paint pictures everywhere you go, whenever you can get people to paint pictures in their mind, you are going to create emotions, which is what we need to focus on in sales, because it's the connection, it's the memory. And so in this case, the orange ball. You never lose the orange ball. Johnny has more fun at the park because he never loses his orange ball. Well, the story might be, ever since Johnny got his orange ball, he hasn't lost it since, and he has way more friends playing in the park. There's a story that connects with people. What mom wouldn't want their kid to have more fun in the park? They're going to run out and buy an orange ball. And so you can see how this works for increasing sales, increasing desire for your shows, increasing desire for your business opportunity. You can use it for increasing desire to move up the ladder. And in the Direct Sales Recruiting University full version, we talk quite a bit about developing your team, finding business, building bookings, and getting the results that we want, because every direct seller is frustrated with bookings. I know that because first of all, I'm a lot like you. When I first started, I wanted bookings so bad. And yet, every time I put out a call for what do you want the topic to be next week, everybody comes back with bookings. And if you look at the comments that we've gotten on our last post, you'll see that people need bookings. It's an ongoing problem that not only will the Direct Sales Recruiting University assist in sharing the opportunity and growing a team that starts to share from day one, but it'll also help your team to have a solid business. You know, we've all come into this business with kind of the same education. We sign up, they tell us to write a list of the top 40, top 60, top 100 people we ever known since kindergarten, and then go ask them if they'd like to have a show, if they'd like to sign up for the opportunity, or if they want to buy a product, or do they know anybody that does, right? Well, this system just plain doesn't work because it's focusing on me, what I want. And what we want to do is focus on the needs of others. Sales means to serve. And so attraction marketing means that we put out information, we sprinkle information that's going to create desire in conversational manner, in little stories that attract people to us who want what we have. And then you don't have to ask everybody because they start asking you. I mean, they might not literally say, hey, can I join? Some of them might. But they will start to ask you questions that give you the opportunity to invite them. They might ask a question like, well, how many shows do you do? Or, you know, just something else that gives you a clue that they might be interested. The Direct Sales Recruiting University, the full version, is gonna. We in the survey I was shocked. Like everybody wants free, so that's what we have here. But everybody also wants. Some people want transcription. Some people want MP3 downloads. Some people want a lifetime access to the videos. Everybody wants replays. And so we're doing our best to put it together in such a way that no matter what your busy lifestyle is, because that truly was the overriding theme of the survey that we did, was that everybody's busy. And so, you know, our goal now is to put together the full version that really allows people to access it on their own time, on their own schedule, on their own technology level. So we're working on it, and we're going to give you another free version. I think we have 2 more episodes to go on that. And so my name is Deb Bixler. It's time for you to take your features and your benefits and start writing your stories. So I really appreciate all the comments we got the other day, and I really would like to hear more comments down below in the comment box, because like I said, I mean, there's close to 6 hours of training in the Direct Sales Recruiting University, and I'm trying to squeeze it into like 5, 15 to 20 minute segments, and so if you could give me a little, narrow it down a little bit, because it's really hard to pick and choose what to share, because there's just too much there. The university is just so packed with value. And that works, you know. I have a lady on my team who's like 78 years old, Nancy Lucas, and she actually was one of the very first consultants I ever brought in, and she's still with it. She is still with it. It's amazing, you know, when you attract people to you that want what you have, as opposed to trying to push it all the time on people who need it, you're going to get a lot better results. So if Nancy Lucas, she joined to keep her brain sharp, and she's still doing it. So, you know, if Nancy can do it, anybody can do it. So, you know, let's move forward here. Tell me what you want, okay, down below, and we'll talk to you again in a couple days. Hi there, and welcome to the third installment of the free version of the Direct Sales Recruiting University. I got a lot of emails over the last couple days about clarification that people are interested in, and so I'm going to try to cover them all. A lot of the information that we got was some people are asking things that are unrelated to recruiting, which is cool because it sort of showed me that we have a need for maybe doing exactly the same thing for bookings and also for your home party show. So I'm going to do my best to answer all of the emails that I've received over the last couple days and answer everybody's questions individually. It could take me a few days though because well, we all have a full life, right? And aren't we grateful for that? So I will do my best to address everybody's questions individually that don't relate to recruiting, and the ones that do relate to recruiting, I'm going to do my best to cover them in these webinars. So we've talked quite a bit about the process of sharing your opportunity, and it's pretty obvious that you guys all want some more information about how to sprinkle those stories out there. When we put out enough information out into the public, we are going to attract people to us that have an interest in what we have to offer. So I would recommend that if you haven't done so yet, you go back to listen at the first two videos because it'll give you some more clarifying information there. But it's about writing stories. And when we put out information in the marketplace, we're going to attract people to us. This isn't just about at your shows. This is about out and about, just creating the top 20 reasons why your business is the best thing since sliced bread and turning them into a story. One of the questions I got was about branding, and you know, that's very true. You don't want it to be only about your company. You want it to be about you, the person, as well. And so obviously online you can brand with logos and images and things like that, but at your home party business, what separates you from the rest of your company and from the other consultants in your company? You know, I teach fun, fast, and healthy because I'm into healthy eating and a chef, and so at my home parties I taught fun, fast, and healthy. And so what brand are you? What separates you out from your whole company? And that's something you want to consider when you're looking at the top 20 reasons why your business is the best thing since sliced bread. Not only just your company, but also you, the person. What separates you out from everybody else? Once you start to sprinkle these things out in a conversational manner, you are going to attract people to you that want what you have. And so I was asked for some more examples of how to take the feature and turn it into a benefit and then write a story. So here's one. The feature is less stress. This is why I started in home business, is because I wanted to get away from my corporate job. I had too much stress. The benefit was that I don't even have to use an alarm clock. And so the story in regard to sharing the opportunity is, I love working from home. I quit the restaurant business for less stress, and now I get to sleep as late as I want every single day. I do not even have an alarm clock in my bedroom anymore. I can pretty much guarantee you every time you say that, someone's going to go, oh, geez, I wish I could do that. And so that's an example of a story. Here's another one. Let's do this one for bookings. Now, any one of them can be done for recruiting or for bookings. Your features and your benefits apply to your products, your opportunity, and the opportunity to host a show. And that is one of the great benefits of the Direct Sales Recruiting University, because everybody on every level can apply it. Whether you have an eager beaver newcomer who's all gung-ho and sponging up all the knowledge you can give them, or whether it's a seasoned consultant who's just frustrated with their results, or a leader looking for a way to leverage their time. The Direct Sales Recruiting University teaches basically skills that it can be applied to everything: sales, bookings, as well as training your team and developing others. And so it's a really multifaceted program, and we talk specifically about recruiting, but the concepts are applied across the board in all aspects of your business. So like the feature is free products. Now that could be a feature for recruiting, or it could be a feature for scheduling a show. And the benefit is you save money, you can get anything you want, we can have fun at our shows. There's a lot of different benefits. But if we apply this, say, to scheduling a show, the story is maybe you're at a show, you pick up a specific product, and what I recommend is you link these one-liners. Once you've created the top 20 reasons, and really you should be able to create more than 20, but once you've created them, you link them to certain points at your shows. So you're going to share 20 times the benefits of scheduling a show, or 20 times the benefits of the business opportunity, but you're going to do it in a conversational manner using short stories in 10 seconds or less. This is the one product I give away free the most often. As a hostess, you can get anything you want for free, and this is the one I give away free the most often. Whose house are we going to have fun at next month? And so you've sort of painted a little picture. Depending on your product line, you know, if you sell kitchen products, you might say, this is the one product I give away free the most often. Imagine having a fully stocked kitchen and this to get you in and out of the kitchen quick. Or if you sell anti-aging, you incorporate your story and your product line into your little conversation. And so the goal of these principles, parables, and pictures, in other words, we talked about that last time, we create a picture in people's mind using a little story of facts. Principles are facts. And so this toolbox that we've created is filled with 20 different short stories that you share everywhere you go, out and about, at the grocery store. Once you've created them, you can access them and modify them for the situation at hand. The benefit of informing, in other words, you know, oftentimes we get taught to invite everybody, you know, and that doesn't always work because people see us coming, they get tired of being approached, and they feel like you're being pushy. Maybe you're not being pushy, but you know, if you get that kind of attitude, oh, here she comes, you know, that system doesn't work. And if you're frustrated with the results you're getting from your business, whether it's for bookings, whether it's for training your team, or whether it's for sharing the business opportunity, sprinkling information out there in a conversational manner on a regular basis is going to attract people to you. And so you are going to start to get people who ask you questions that indicate that they have desire. And so those kind of questions are what I call a window of opportunity. A window of opportunity is a moment when you have the right or the hint, the clue that they're interested in what you have. So when you sprinkle well, then people are going to start to ask you, well, how far do you travel? Or do you really make that much money? Or where are you going on your trip this year? And then you have the chance to say the key words, which are, have you ever thought about doing what I do? So you put out information, you get windows of opportunity, and you start to invite. And see, this is the learning process. When you get good at recognizing and doing each process along the way, you're going to become an awesome recruiter or an awesome scheduler. Again, this applies to both. You need to sprinkle information out to attract desire. When you start to sprinkle enough information out, you're going to get windows of opportunity, and then when you start to invite, you're going to start to get the opportunity to overcome concerns. If you say, have you ever thought about doing what I do? And they say, oh, I could never do that. Well, then you get the chance to overcome that. Actually, I felt the same way myself when I first started, but what I found was that my fantastic company has such great training support that it was easier than I expected. What part of what I do is it that concerns you? And so the process of becoming a good sharer is learning how to become good at each level along the way. Even if you did already watch the videos in the past, you should go back and read some of the comments that we've gotten, because the comments are interesting as well. We got a comment from Marianne who asked, once you have someone that is interested in your business opportunity, how do you keep them interested enough to sign up? I find that I have people that want information. You sit with them, you talk, you give them the data, and then you don't ever hear back from them. Any great advice here? Well, and that's a very good question, Marianne, because part of getting good at each level is, of course, getting good at the interview process. I don't believe you have to interview people sitting across a table. That's only one way to do it, but the interview process is an exchange of information designed to see if it's going to be a compatible match. Most direct sellers look at it like an interview is like us trying to talk them into it, which is a big mistake. So one of the things that I recommend about that is that you literally ask them right up front, do you have any other questions, or are you ready to get started? During the recruiting class, we teach what I call the 4-question interview. And it's only 4 questions, and the beauty of the 4 questions is that you can memorize it and use it anywhere you go. On-the-spot recruiting, I think one of the best places to recruit is at your show. And so, do you have any questions, or are you ready to get started, is one of the 4 in the 4-question interview, and it should be asked often. Because when you say, do you have any questions, or are you ready to get started, you are literally asking for the close. See, one of the things that we make a big mistake on in our business, sharing our business opportunity, is that we rarely ask for the close. We expect them to close the deal. It's our job to close the deal. And so oftentimes we keep talking and talking and talking, and we never say, do you have any more questions, or are you ready to get started? So that should be the open and the close for every interview. And once you get really good at sharing the interview process, then you get to start to practice, because you'll start to sign people up, and you'll get to start to practice teaching people how to create income. So it's really essential that you put some new consultant orientation systems into place so that they're able to bring in strangers into their business. One of the questions that Melody had asked on a previous recording was that, how do you recommend a good system to begin a new recruit on the right track? And the key is to get the new recruit on the right track with bookings, finding business. It is the #1 problem in the industry. And we have a tendency as new consultants to focus on certain targets, like some people school and friends, other people family and neighbors. And the key is to have the first 20 shows fall into those 7 categories: friends, family, organizations, strangers, neighbors, work, and school. And so new leaders need to teach their new consultants how to find business and have lead generation systems in place so that you can support your team in lead generation and become an expert at it. When they become experts at finding business, they will also become experts at everything else. So the program brings leaders who have a huge team systems to incorporate that kind of generate the sharing the opportunity as well as finding business all the way down the line. Because once you have a system into place, you're going to leverage your time. You know, this is a sales funnel. We talk a lot about this on the training in the university as well. I'm going to give you one bookings tip right now, because that seems to be what everybody sent me back emails. They want bookings tips. Well, I guess I'm going to have to start a new series of the Power Up for Professional Results, because that's all about finding business. So maybe I'll have to make a free version of the Power Up for Professional Results. Here's one bookings tip. Go to a vendor event twice a month, every single month, as a vendor once, and bring your team and use it for team training, but also teach your team to go to vendors events every single month as a guest. You pay your $2, your $4, your $6, and you get in, and then you go and network with the vendors. I guarantee you will find business by networking at vendors events as both a vendor as well as a guest. Taking your team to a vendor event every single month is like team training. It's such a great new consultant orientation system. Imagine every new consultant standing side by side with successful direct sellers on your team and learning the word choices right there and getting to practice them, because you can always make up in numbers what you lack in skill, and numbers give you the skills. So one new consultant training tip is to get your team to vendors events and use it for lead generation, but also use it for a training tool. And so as you can see, it's quite an extensive process. It's not a hard process, and we give you a lot of information in the Direct Sales Recruiting University. And you know what? I've given you a lot of information, in the free version as well. I had one of my raving fans, one of the Direct Sales Recruiting University's raving fans is Lucy Zettel. She is from Canada, and she said that the Direct Sales Recruiting University fit the bill. She has given me so many testimonials by email, and just in general, she said that she's an education knowledge sponge. But it's always impressive how much information it is there, and she's put some of it into place right away in her team training meetings, because we have a whole module on training your team. One of the most important things for team retention for direct sales leaders is to have everybody show up at meetings, whether they're online or off. We cover them both. Another raving fan is Leo Sophia consultant Cynthia, and she said that she memorized and incorporated the 4-question interview, and she used it 3 times during the class and incorporated it right into her business right away using the recruiting techniques. She asked the questions, and as a result during the class 2 new members join her team during the class. And she simply asked, do you have any questions, or are you ready to get started? And guess what? They were ready to get started. And so Cynthia with Leah Sophia, if you'd like to go check her out and ask her questions, or even go to Lucy's Facebook page, you can ask her questions as well. But Cynthia said, thank you so much for developing this exciting curriculum full of strategic challenges that are easy to comprehend and put into practice quickly. And she brought her team back for a second session. So Cynthia had 2 teams come to the Direct Sales Recruiting University. I think she was one of the first teams, and then brought it back for the fall session as well. So, we're going to have one more free version, and we're going to start the Direct Sales full version. And I am upgrading it to include videos, unlimited access to the recordings for 6 months. It used to be just audios. I really didn't want to get into all the video part of it, but I guess I will, because that's what people want. And so watch for the next call, and send me any questions if you have any, and comment below, because I will try to narrow them down. I'm going to make it a shorter lesson next time. I'm going to give you one quick tip. And check out the Direct Sales Recruiting University by going to debstraining.com. Watch for another training in the next couple days. I'm going to give you a tip that will revolutionize your team's growth, because you can improve the quality of the team players coming in. We want to find team players that want to do what you want them to do, and that is grow a business, because everybody joins because they want to make money and they want to be successful. Unfortunately, we have a tendency to have this 80-20 rule that reduces our chances of success. So we're going to give you a quick tip next time. Make sure that you put your comments down below, or send me an email, deb@debbixler.com. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I hope you got a lot out of it. I'd love your feedback. Just put your comments down below. Thank you, and we'll talk to you in a couple days. Hi there, welcome back to the free version of the Direct Sales Recruiting University. We're kind of winding down. I have a really good tip for you today. I just wanted to share, though, that if you haven't done so, go back and look at some of the questions and comments. It's kind of cool to read the comments, but I did get a lot of emails and comments on the previous webinars about the request for us to discuss the 4-question interview. And you know what? I just don't have time. I promised you one quick tip here, and I'm going to give you that. And then on our next video, I'm going to give you another bookings tip. So you want to watch in a couple days when I send that out. But I've been working pretty hard at making the new Direct Sales Recruiting University for 2012 to meet the needs of everybody, even the people who aren't technologically savvy. So we're really trying hard to incorporate everything that you could possibly want into it and make it a really good value. And we're going to roll that out for you in a couple days, along with another bookings tip. So I just can't answer that in a 15-minute call. That's why the Direct Sales Recruiting University is, close to 6 hours. That's really why you should really think about joining, even if you're just an individual or a team, because the Direct Sales Recruiting University impacts every aspect of your business, your sales, your recruiting, your bookings, and it's impossible for me to give it to you all here in 15-minute little increments. And so we're going to roll it out in about 2 days, and also include, as I know I've kind of been hesitating to do this, but I'm also going to include the individual version, so that just if you don't have a sales team, you can join. But right now, I want to share with you this tip. This is what I call the Gomer Pyle syndrome. So, who would you rather have on your team? Homer Simpson or Oprah Winfrey? Who would you rather have a home party with, Gomer Pyle or Donald Trump? I can pretty much guarantee you, if Oprah Winfrey has a home party, that she has a lot of friends and they're all going to show up. No one's going to cancel on her at the last minute, and she's not going to cancel on you by calling up and saying, nobody's coming. And so we have a little problem in this industry, is that we don't tend to look up the social and economic influence scale. Like, we should be doing home parties in the best neighborhoods. We should be sharing our opportunity with the best potential consultants. Like, who would you rather have on your team, Donald Trump or Gomer Pyle? When you have Gomer Pyle on your team, he already understands the value of networking. He already has a network in place. He already knows what it means to work on a commission. He doesn't need to get paid right today for everything he does. He's willing to invest in his business. See, we have a tendency to look for people who need our business as opposed to people who already will be good at our business. So, what I want you to do right now is write down on a scale of 0 to 10, with Gomer Pyle and Homer Simpson being a 0 and Donald Trump and Oprah Winfrey being a 10, where do you fall on the social and economic influence scale? It has a little bit to do with money, but it's really not about money. It's more about how you perceive yourself on the social and economic influence scale. Now go ahead and write that down right now. Okay, got that? My guess is that most people watching this put down somewhere between a 4 and a 10. Now, we all have a tendency to look down. We look for people who need our business. We very rarely look up. So if you think about that, then if you put yourself down as a 7, chances are most of the people who you invite to be hosts or who you ask to join your opportunity are 6s. And if you bring in all 6s and all your hostesses are 6s, then chances are they're going to be looking at 5s, and they're going to bring in 5s. And then all those people, when they start bringing people in, are going to start bringing in 4s, and so on. So do you see what's happening to your team? Everybody tends to look down. Have anybody here ever contacted Oprah Winfrey to have a show or to join your business opportunity? Well, I have. And I'm sure you know that she didn't join my team. And if you never hear no, then you never hear yes. And so it's really important. I mean, one of the best things you can do is teach this to your team, because when they start to look up, they may not be bringing in business opportunity seekers, but they will definitely have better quality shows. The shows in the neighborhood that Oprah Winfrey lives in are always the best shows. They always show up. They buy lots of products. And if they're product users only and never host a show, and especially if you have a consumable product, they never quit because it's too expensive. They never say, oh, I can't get this anymore, it's too expensive. Whereas on the other hand, when you do business with or bring into your opportunity, or maybe Gomer Pyle would schedule a show with you, chances are nobody's going to show up. He's going to call you at the last minute and say, I can't get anybody to come. This stuff's too expensive. Or if he would happen to join your team, he's going to say, everybody says no. You got to hold his hand all the way. Whether he's a hostess or host, he has less connections, less friends, lower sales at his shows. If he is a consultant, he has less sales at his own personal home parties, and his hostesses are also lower on the social and economic influence scale, and as a consultant and a host, big time maintenance issue. So why wouldn't you want to teach your team and yourself, it takes a little bit of reprogramming for yourself, to look up the social and economic influence scale, like who would be the best consultant, who would be the best host. That's who you want to look for. Now that's a team training topic if I ever heard of one, because when you can get your team to start looking for the right people instead of looking for the people that need it. How about real estate agents? How about mortgage brokers? How about car dealers? Have you ever asked one of them if they'd like to join your opportunity? They already know how to network. They already know how to do socializing and participate in network marketing. They already what it means to invest time now and get paid later. They'd be the perfect type of person. I'm not saying you need to just seek out real estate agents or car dealers, but what we need to do is teach and train ourselves and our team how to look for people that are up the economic income scale, because a home party in the biggest neighborhood in your town is going to be guaranteed twice what it's going to be in a neighborhood that's on a lower economic influence scale. I know that Gomer Pyle and Oprah Winfrey are drastic extremes, but think about the training potential with this for yourself and for your team. This is why the Direct Sales Recruiting University is powerful for all levels. Now, in a couple days, we're going to roll out the brand new 2012 version. And with the brand new 2010 Direct Sales Recruiting University, I am going to bring you one more bookings tip. So we got hundreds of emails with questions that are totally unrelated to the direct sales recruiting. And I'm going to do my best to one at a time answer them all. I think I've gone through about half of them. So if you made a comment or sent me a direct email about something else like follow-up or something like that, I'm going to answer every single one of them, so watch your email box. Now before we leave for today, I do want to say thank you to everybody who's here, who visits the site, because I don't know if you're familiar with the Direct Selling Live 2012. Actually, I guess it's awards for 2011, but I was just honored to be named for the third year in a row as one of the most 50 influential people in direct sales, and it's all thanks to you guys. And so I really appreciate all the support. And we're going to launch the full version with lots of bonuses, and I'm telling you, it covers everything from the beginner to the advanced, including we're making it as simple as possible from a technology point of view. So take that Gomer Pyle syndrome, think about it, veg on it for a while, and see how you can incorporate it into your life, your business, and your team training. This is Deb Bixler, and have a great week.